ethnicity is, for me, a social construction. It's a social construction, it's a social relationship. And those change over time. This is why the concept of dynamic, of identity, involves both the internal, existential conception, the contextual one in which I relate myself to others, and the interaction between the two is what brings about this notion of me, the self, and you can call it ethnicity if you want. But it's much more richer to call it identity because of the dynamic element which is involved. Now, ethnicity is one manifestation. We all manipulate our ethnicity. In fact, the problem in some situations is that we cannot manipulate our ethnicity. The Hutu or the Tutsi, or perhaps a certain situation, someone cannot mediate, cannot have multiple ethnicities, multiple identities. But in a more freer situations, each one of you has multiple identities, which you negotiate with all the time, in different contexts. The question of the passion for identity is very, very important. Why are we so passionate in killing others? What is it that brings ethnic conflicts or identity conflicts, that element of passion? I am mostly attracted to the theories of Benedict Anderson in the imagined communities. In reflecting and confronting this question, he talks about the situation where all communities today are imagined. We are all imagined communities. My ethnicity is a myth. All nationalisms are myths. Take any of the histories which have been constructed, whether it is British, Irish, Sinhalese, Tamil, or anything else. The myth of my ethnicity is based on socialization and history. But it continues to be reconstructed. And the imagined aspect of it is, but Benedict Anderson says, that identity is connected to death, to the explanation of death, to dying. In his argument, in the religions, death was explained by the priest. There was, the priest interpreted the text. It was in Sanskrit or in Latin. And they interpreted the text and said, you have an ordered life, you will be born and you will die and you will go to heaven or nirvana, whatever it is. It was an ordered, structured universe. But with the decline of religion and the interpretation between God and human, the meaning of death was lost. This is the beginning of nationalism. Is that the very symbols of the old order, nationalism, the soldier, the dead soldier, the monument. The nation state evoked and developed enormous symbols, enormous edifices to show the continuity of that ethnic group or the nation. Continuity. And therefore, Benedict Anderson's conception, I don't want to go more into it, I think you should read it, is that imagined communities today are able to communicate to each other over long distances because of print capitalism. That once Luther, the Bible was translated into German, everybody would read it. When the text itself did not have an interpreter, so that in the diaspora, the Sikhs can communicate their message to Canada. When an incident happens in Punjab, people in Canada throw kerosene and kill themselves. So the emerging community has become a powerful metaphor which links a particular community across boundaries. So in a way, the explanation for me which has been very useful is at the psychic level. The passion is related to death and meaning. That's been one explanation which has been solved.